Happy Thursday, hashtag my global family. This is Dre a Beta, coyote walking in this world, and real life Isleta Pueblo superhero. I am here today, family, for another edition of Yoga with Dre with Adriene. I am so grateful for finding the Yoga with Adriene community about 4 years ago, family. This coyote has lost over 110 pounds with the help of gastric bypass. I have been diabetic since I was 15 years old, family. This coyote is literally 40 years old. So that's 25 years of damage to my eyes, to my legs, and to my limbs. And I literally have had family members who have literally lost their feet or part of their ankles. Blindness also happened to be part of my family's legacy with diabetes, family. Don't forget, this coyote is also a critical race, whiteness, intersectional scholar, an activist, a published author, an Ivy League graduate, a pastor, and also a medical marijuana advocate. So this is a straw, family, and this is butane hash oil, which is my medication. And what you're seeing is me taking my medicine, literally taking my medicine. This coyote is medicated 100% of the time that I'm awake, family. Medication for me, as far as marijuana is concerned, does not give me a giddy or high euphoric feeling that is usually associated with medical marijuana or recreational marijuana. In fact, actually, family, it keeps me from losing my breakfast. I have anxiety and depression and PTSD, and it helps me manage my PTSD, family. So please remember that the war on drugs was a movement that was politically and socially constructed in order to attack certain communities, family, communities of color and poor white communities. Don't be afraid, family, when you are partaking of your medicine. If it makes you cough, that's a good sign. It's getting to your lungs and your medication is working. So my pitch today, family, before we get to our 15 minutes of yoga zen, is to join me in the field of academia. Join me in the fight for education. I'm seriously, family, absolutely serious. As an indigenous, two-spirited warrior, I'm actually afraid that we are losing ground in academia, in higher education, and in the classrooms, not only in higher ed, but K-12 as well. We need more indigenous people. We need more Black brothers, sisters, and non-binary siblings, more Chinese, Vietnamese, Indonesian. We need more Muslim teachers. We need more Jewish teachers. I'll be honest, family. My life is about intersectionality and creating a global family, because once we're fighting together as family, trying to survive and thrive in 2021 and all of our lives, right? I always say that we are everyday warriors, right? We are in the forever civil rights movement, family. And I need you in academia. I need you to come get your PhD with me. And I want to share a little bit about my story. I'm a success story in that I will graduate with my PhD within the 10-year time limit that is given to doctoral students. And I'll be honest, it's been a struggle and it's been a fight. And I've always fought for my education because honestly, as a little, at the time, Pueblo girl, I didn't see myself reflected in the classroom because I was pulled from my reservation school in the second grade and put into a white community nearby called Bosque Farms. After being bullied and as an adult realizing I was being raped and molested at the time by a family member, social workers and my parents thought it was bullying, which I was being bullied at school as well. I was the token Indian child who literally was brought out to do butterfly dances during the holidays. I was tokenized as a child, and I remember JOM coming around with free school supplies and getting a couple of fat notebooks and those fat pencils and those Indian headed notebooks. right? When I went back to the classroom, I was othered because the other kids, the white children, would look at me like, why is she getting a handout, right? Because that's what lifting up our people and providing necessary means for us to be successful is seen as, right? A handout. So let's start flipping the narrative on the script, right? These are not handouts. Our government is supplying us with what we need to survive, especially now during COVID. But I'm telling you, family, this coyote did not enjoy school when I was a kid. And I'll be honest, I wasn't a brilliant scholar. I'm not. I'm just an ordinary human being who's been very well trained. Because although I didn't embrace school, my parents made me go and made sure that I checked all the boxes. I did all the summer programs. I did French lessons and violin lessons and did summer camps. And my resume, by the time I got to apply for college, was on par with my white counterparts. They ensured that I would have access to success, and they paid through the nose for it, family. My parents have invested millions of dollars. Before I came out as two-spirited, I'd call myself the Slutter Princess. And I was not joking, because my parents provided me with European trips and internships and experiences to the opera as early as the 5th grade. My childhood was peppered with my dad flying back from places like New York and California and bringing home lobsters from Maine. I learned socialization through white practices because that's what my family exposed me to. So when I had opportunity to be a professor, to be a researcher, to be an international graduate student leader, that I would know the ways of the white men and be as successful at them, if not better. Because I was there to prove that Indian people, indigenous people, had a right to be in these spaces of power and knowledge. Because we need you in the universities. We're still getting beat up. We're still underrepresented. And our students are still being exposed to microaggressions, othering, and feelings as if they don't belong. So we need you there. We need people who look like us, even though I am privileged with lightness. But this was rape. This was coloniality. When you look at my parents, they are small, dark Pueblo women, and they are proud of who they are. And I stand proud to be able to be an educator, to be a published author, to be a researcher on multiple projects, and have influenced this community through my own experiences. And I'm asking you to join me in becoming a role model that we need. I talk about medical marijuana. I have a YouTube channel. I'm doing a vlogging dissertation. I'm creating my own theory and my own church to show people what is possible. I'm asking you to think outside the box and to start creating change, because COVID didn't help us. It hurt us, and it's still hurting us, and it will get worse before, if it gets better. And I'm talking about a global effect. When I look at my colleagues of color who graduated with their PhDs, they're literally going back to the same positions they had, even though they've had to absorb the hundreds of thousands potentially that it costs them to fund their education. We were told if we invested in something like a PhD or a master's degree, it would pay off because of an investment in our future. But now we're finding that there are no jobs to be had. So I'm asking you, family, become the change we need. I'm asking you to inspire others through your direct action and intervention. I love you. Let's go ahead and get started with some yoga. I'm going to be so late, family. It was worth it. It was worth it. This family time was worth it. So come join me in academia. If you want to know more about graduate school, about applying to undergraduate school, especially if you're an Indigenous person, especially if you're an LGBTQ person, especially if you're a white ally, especially if you're a person with a heart who wants to learn how to make a difference, contact me. I love you all. Let's do some yoga.
Adriene, and today we have a sequence for the lower back. This is something that you requested, and I think is awesome and really dear to me because I very much believe in the healing power of yoga, practice, keyword practice. So I invite you to try this video more than once. Embrace the repetition. You might favorite the video or click the add to tab below so you can find it more easily. But this is something that I think if you practice regularly, will really provide you some yummy benefits and hopefully get you living pain-free in the back. So let's check it out, shall we? Hop on the mat and let's learn yoga for lower back pain. All right, my friends, we're going to start flat on our backs today, using the support of the earth to tend to the lower back. I just love all poses on the back because it reminds me that we are supported. So if you want to go there with me, if you want to go, oh, never mind, can't sing that. Explicit lyrics. If you want to go there with me, you can just kind of take a deep breath in and already just feel relief from the idea that we are supported by the mat, by the earth, by this moment. Feel like a little bit of consciousness goes a long way. So take a deep breath in. Long exhale out. Then slowly we're going to wrap the arms around the shins. Might interlace the fingertips here. And nice and slow, we'll let the knees come in towards the heart. So if the lower back is already starting to talk to you, you have a couple options. Palms can come to the knees. This is great. Or again, we can interlace. Now, rather than hardcore squeezing, just breathe here. Relax the shoulders down. Let the weight of the elbows drop. And we have two options. We're going to rock a little side to side, just kind of massaging the lower back, not squeezing like I do normally in Hatha Yoga, but just kind of letting the space be. So I have an option here, or I have the option to draw circles with the palms. So just take a second here on your own, because everyone's different. It's so hard to do yoga for this and yoga for that, because everyone's different. Everyone's experiencing different sensations. So just try to honor that. And I'll encourage you to listen to your body, be gentle, and of course, modify up, modify down as needed. So what we're doing is drawing circles with the palms on the knees one way and then the other, or where fingertips interlace, going left to right. You might even linger on one side if that feels good. And then close your eyes, look away from the video, and just take a second to feel both these things out. To check in with the lower back. Make sure you're breathing deep.
I always forget to breathe, family.
Awesome. Then when you feel satisfied, slowly we'll release the soles of the feet to the mat, and we'll inhale, reach the fingertips all the way up and overhead. Nice and easy. We're going to just rock the pelvis here. So I'm going to rock the pelvis so that the lower back becomes kind of a rainbow over my mat. So if I wanted, I could slip my hand underneath there. And then I'm just going to rock the pelvis here. Get sassy. So nice and easy. We can bend the elbows as I tuck the pelvis. And then exhale, tailbone down. Navel stretches long, belly stretches long. And then we switch. Doesn't even matter what you're inhaling on and what you're exhaling on. Just breathe deep. And I'm sure this is going to look great on the video, but we're just kind of coming into almost a little sensual pelvic rock here. But it's awesome because we're massaging the top of the buttocks here, and we're just loosening up, finding a little soothing movement for that lower back. Staying grounded to the soles of the feet. Just do a couple more. Stretching the belly long as the lower back lifts up. And then maybe drawing the navel down as we lengthen through the tailbone, lower back flush with the mat. Do a couple more on your own. It's like a baby bridge, baby Setu Bandhasana experience. Cool. When you feel satisfied with that, I got a little zen out there. When you feel satisfied, we're going to lift the knees back up, and we're going to cross the ankles. And we have an option here. If you're really tending to lower back relief, skip this, rock to one side and come sit up. If your lower back feels tight and you feel like this might be good, join me in a little rock and roll up. So I'm gonna grab the outer edges of the feet. I'm gonna begin to rock a little front to back. If it feels like that's yummy, do it a couple times, massaging the spine. Remember, it's all connected. This is a great way to just kind of relieve tension and stretch and soothe the spine. Now, if you're a little more sensitive today, again, we're all different, approaching this different, then just skip that move and come to cross-legged position, which is where we will all meet. I have a blanket here, conveniently. I'm gonna lift my hips up on. You can use a towel or blanket or nothing at all as we come to cross-legged and bring the palms to the knees here. Nice and easy breezy. We inhale, press the palms into the knees, extend through the crown of the head, lift your heart, chest open. Then on an exhale, chin to chest, navel draws back towards the spine. We come into what I call Mr. Burns pose here, rounding forward. Breathe. Breathe into the back. And then inhale, extend, tagging a little weight in the elbows here. Open the chest, the heart. And exhale, same thing, chin to chest, rounding forward. Go ahead and catch the weight in the palms. And take a couple breaths here. Stretching the skin of the back. The breath can be so healing, so take some nice, long, smooth, deep breaths here. And then slowly we'll rock all the way back up and come to all fours. Nice and slow, take it easy, honor the body, enjoy this practice, this time. So we're gonna come to all fours. If you want, you can sneak in a gentle cat-cow here. And we're gonna take the right leg and lift it gently all the way up into a lunge. Now again, if the lower back is tight, breathe deep. If the lower back is tweaking, you might save this. I mean, I just don't want anyone with lower back pain to do anything that they don't want to do. So just listen to your body and breathe. I'm going to heel toe my right foot out a little bit wider than I would normally in a runner's lunge. You might even turn the right toes out slightly. And we're going to bring both palms in towards the center line. Now I'm going to curl my left toes under, walk my left knee back, and slowly sink into the hip. So what I'm doing is, this might seem a little counterintuitive, but I'm stretching the front of that left hip crease, the psoas here that wraps literally from here to here, which often causes some crap in the lower back. So we're finding a nice opening in the front of that hip crease. We have the palms here to support us. If you have a block or a book, and this is just too much for you, you can lift the earth up to you, baby. Yeah. Or fingertips is always good. Now breathe. Finding what feels good. Again, we're focusing on deep breaths and opening the front of that left hip crease, the psoas. If it feels right, you might lift that knee for a pulse or two. But if we're super tight, then that might not be an option, and you might stay up nice and lifted. Couple more breaths here. Smile, relax the skin of the face. We got this. Then to come out, we'll come onto the fingertips. Send the sit bones back for a little stability as we walk that right heel in. And then we're just going to take it for a nice little counter pose here. Right heel stays in the earth as we relax the weight of the head over, pulling the right hip crease back. This doesn't have to be a deep stretch, guys. In fact, if we're tending the lower back, we should keep it nice and spacious, nice and easy. So one breath here with the weight of the head over. Remember, it's all connected. Cool, then we'll rock back onto that right foot, come to all fours, and nice and easy, gingerly switch to the other side. Cool, so I'm gonna heel toe the left foot out now. Both palms come in towards the center line. Take it nice and slow, find integrity. And then I will curl the right toes under, walk that right knee back, and check out what it's like on the other side. So again, I'm focusing on the psoas muscle, or we can just kind of bring your awareness to the front of that right hip crease. Stretching it nice and long, using the breath to breathe here. Might lift that back knee. Again, as we said before, we might lift the earth to us. If it's really tight, that might be why your lower back is hurting. So opening up through the front body a little bit to provide relief and space for the lower back. Ding. Okay, one more nice, long, smooth, deep breath here. And then we come out, nice and easy, lifting the sit bones back. Walk the left heel in towards the center line and release over. Again, we're not sinking all the way back. This isn't power yoga. We're just checking in. So keep a nice, spacious vibe going on here. Weight of the head comes over, we breathe. And then we roll through the left foot. We use the fingertips for stability, and this time we're going to step that right foot all the way up to the left for a forward fold. Now, rule of the game here is please, 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 my friends, keep your knees bent. Bend those knees, keep them soft. They can be super bent generously. Then I'm going to take my hands to the belly, draw the belly in just slightly, and let the weight of the head hang over gently. Oh yeah, baby. Release the fingertips. If you have a block, you can kind of rest it here or a book. This is not about the palms touching the earth. They can go wherever they need. This is about feeling grounded through the soles of the feet and then finding spaciousness in the lower back. So we breathe here. We use the exhale to let go. We find a little weight in the sit bones. And we use that inhale to maybe really feel expansion in the lower back. The exhale to ground down, find stability. You can grab the elbows here if you like. Let's take one more nice, long, deep breath in. And then we let it all go. To come out of this forward fold today, we release the palms or the fingertips to the mat by bending the knees generously. And then slowly, nothing fancy here, come back to all fours. Cool. Cross the ankles, nice and easy. We walk it back through. Texas. And come back to the back for our final posture for the lower back. Yay. Hug the knees into the chest. Feel that space. Yeah. Starting to feel better. Starting to feel good. And then we'll send the fingertips left to right. You know, I like to call this Texas T. And we'll scoop the tailbone up, draw the knees up towards the heart. And then this is not about forcing. This is about, again, gentle, finding ease, creating space in the lower back. So I'll gently melt the knees towards the right side. And rather than keeping the knees actively hugging up towards the heart like we normally do, give yourself a little more space. So again, rather than drawing the knees all the way up here, I'm letting myself have a little more spaciousness, a little more just ease. So I breathe here. I can take that left palm, of course, guide it a little deeper into the posture. I'm breathing now again into that psoas, lower back, outer edge of the hip. Yummy. So I'm encouraging us to start here as a way of just, again, moving with ease, but you can, of course, hug the knees up and play with anything in between. A couple more breaths here. You might turn to rock onto the right ear. And then on an exhale, nice and easy breezy, melt it back through center. Itch your nose if you have an itch, and then send it to the other side. Here we go. Again, I'm giving myself a little more space, using the right palm to guide it a little deeper. I'm not anchoring anything. I'm just kind of letting gravity do its job. Nice, long, smooth, deep breaths. Turning onto the left ear, that feels good. Softening through the face, and again, we breathe. Cool. Gently making your way back to center. You can end with a nice flat back, full on body stretch, or, so ask yourself what feels better, open, or we'll turn over onto our bellies and come into a child's pose.
It's just always my favorite.
Belly comes to the top of the thighs as you release here. This is so great for lower back. You can do this in your bed. Find a little gentle rock. If you need even more space, you can bring the knees out hip width apart and hang out here. Sometimes even fingertips between. Nice. And you wonder why they call this the child's pose. So I say find a nice yummy place to end for you here now. And enjoy.
Yeah. Woo. Oh.
Hey everyone, welcome to yoga.
Stop. Pause. Rewind. How are you feeling, family? Did you like it? I thought that was pretty amazing. I feel good. I feel well stretched. My hair is a little discombobulated. But other than that, I think it's went pretty well. All right, family. I gave you my pitch to come join me in the fight, the ideological battle. In my very first book chapter, family, I literally compare myself to the general, right? To a general in the army. I'm creating an army, family, an everyday revolutionary army to create the change we need now in the world. So, Gammy, today, it's for all of us. May we be the leaders our communities need today. I'm also pastor of Coyotes Lodge, House of Spirituality, Critical Theory, and Medical Marijuana. Our services drop here on Sundays, family. As we burn the sage, we say hello to our ancestors and all those who have gone before us, and we ask for their guidance and blessings. Gammy, it's your favorite trickster coyote grandchild. I know. But every day is a battle. Every day we try to make change, even if it's within ourselves. I am here to help lead an example of what is possible, Gammy. And I want you to send that same spark of inspiration that you planted in me when I was a tiny kiddo. And I want you to send that around the world to all of our community members. Everyone I know is a leader. Even my nieces and nephews and the youth who are coming up, they're all leaders in their own right. They are brilliant. They have ideas to how to change the world. They are inspired every day with the experiences they have. Dear Gammy, Papa, Great-Grandpa, and all ancestors who have gone before us, please send your blessing on all of your community members so that we can be the leaders in our spaces that we need to create the change that we need now. COVID has messed with our lives, family. Send us your blessings because every day we need them. May you all rest in peace. We do honor to your name and memory. Family, this coyote is off to go cause trouble somewhere else. I'm going to go set up for a very, very, very special daily prayer. And then I'm off to Isleta Health Center. Thank goodness we have behavioral health services, family. I am going to go get a referral from the doctor who was there to go try some, I'm going to say this wrong, you guys. My nursing students will get on this. EMDR therapy, I believe it is called, for PTSD survivors, or PTSD warriors, I should say. So wish me luck, family. Remember, every day is a new day and it's a new opportunity for us to be amazing. This coyote loves you. I'm off to go cause trouble somewhere else. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. Come join me on this adventure and we're gonna go have some crazy. But hey, you know what? It's always gonna be fun, family. It's always gonna be fun. Bye.